Yes, it's Tessa's turn. Okay, what's your name and where are you from?
My name's Tessa Marquis. I'm originally from San Francisco, California. Then I lived in New York. Now I live in Connecticut, and I'm currently in the bar of the Hotel St. Marie on Toulouse Street.
St. Marie. And what are we doing here? What are you doing here this week?
Well, I've come here about twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year, for 15 or 18 years, something like that. You lose track after a while. To do seminars. We do training seminars for our clients, our industrial and manufacturing professionals.
Okay. And you do come here frequently, and you always stay at the Hotel St. Marie.
The only time we didn't stay at the Hotel St. Marie was when the lobby was being renovated one year.
Okay. So you were barred at the door from coming here. And
we bring 20 to 40 people down from all over the world. Sometimes people come here from other countries, as well as from Canada and the U.S. And New Orleans is a big draw because everybody wants to go to New Orleans.
Yeah, it's kind of like Vegas, you know, on the Gulf Coast. Or Vegas is kind of like New Orleans, I guess.
It takes the sting out of going to a seminar if you're actually in New Orleans. And
so,
I love the food, and I love being in a foreign city in the United States.
Yeah, it really does have its own unique flair. It's very unusual, you know, the architecture, Spanish, French, it's a Creole, you know, it's white, it's black.
It's Caribbean, it's Mexican, it's a lot like Oaxaca.
Yeah, you keep on, you know, we've been walking around the French Quarter doing a little guerrilla vlogging, and you know, you do mention, you know, it's a lot like Mexico.
It's a lot like Paris, it's a lot like Mexico.
Okay. I came down here because you were going to be here, because we talked about this previously. You have a very, very deep connection to the city, to the people. And can you tell me about your experience up in Connecticut during Katrina?
Well, during Katrina, for about 3 days, 2.5 to 3 days, I didn't sleep. I just sat in bed with my laptop and got on every forum I could, and there were different...
Because you're also a blogger.
Yeah, and there were different forums showing up through NOLA.com and the pitiful ones that places like Red Cross set up. The problem was, there's a problem. One problem was that you only could find people if they registered at a Red Cross center.
Okay, so that's what you were trying to do, is you were trying to find out what happened to all these people that you know.
Right, because we've been coming here for so long, the people in the restaurants, people in the hotels, and there's also something about the culture here, which is sometimes you don't know people's names. You know them for 15 years and you call them
babe,
honey, baby,
Cher,
little
darling,
girl,
sweetie,
little girl. And so you don't know their last names.
You don't know where they live,
And it's odd to not know someone's last name, but to feel so connected, you know, because every year we talk about what's happening in our families, what's happening in our businesses, and what's happening with the city, because the city's always changing. It's not really a stagnant bead-throwing place. And we also try to avoid all the bead-throwing and nonsense. That's usually people from out of town.
Yeah.
The real people that live here are very hearty,
resilient,
down to earth.
I've really seen the resilience.
Beautiful, beautiful people with open hearts who they may have more exposure to drunks than the rest of us do in our daily life, but they themselves are not drunks or misfits or anything like that. They're with families and
real work-a-day, salt-of-the-earth type people. That's what I've seen.
There's no difference between working in a hotel here and working in a hotel somewhere else. You still go home, you still have your kids, you still have school, PTA, whatever's going on in your life. And here you have a little something extra, and they have a word for that, which is unpronounceable to me because I'm from the West Coast. We'll get someone to pronounce it. But there's a little something extra. And the little something extra is, it's wonderful architecture. It's beautiful presentation of things. The food is extraordinary.
Yeah.
And
something that does strike me about the culture here is that there's a real appreciation for service.
There's that. There's appreciation for history and for beauty. That's what makes it Parisian.
Okay.
Is you've been invited to someplace where you're lucky enough to see something that is outside of you, and you can make it part of yourself.
Yeah. You can take it home.
And you know, if you're open to it, people treat you like family.
Yeah.
And really care.
Really care. And I can see the love that almost everybody in this hotel has for you.